Hello, and welcome to November, everyone. For many people, it means spring is here, really here. The warmth is coming in tides, and for many, especially our Victorians, including me, it means freedom. So congratulations. We're welcoming in this new, beautiful energy, and I have been listening to your queries. I do know what we will be putting forward today for the questions for our month ahead. So thank you for letting me know what you want to ask, because we will ask it. Today's special guests are, we've got the Mythic Oracle and a Ruby-Fuschite. We've got the Horsepower Oracle with a red Jasper. We've also got the Gods and Titans. This one you don't see that often, with the Mookaite. We've got the Mermaid Blue, very cute little oracle here, with the Crystal Quartz. And we've got the Kuan Yin Oracle with the Blue Lace Agate. So this month we'll be asking what's in store for us, what the best focus is, and to highlight the very requested query, is it time for a summer romance, for some dating? So stay tuned and let's get started. Make sure you take a deep breath. Allow yourself to focus. Let your energy build in within your chest so that you can connect and make the right choices. The right choices for you, that is. And then let's get started. Each one will have a timestamp, so come and join me by the name of the crystal you've picked. I'll see you guys in a bit. Hello and welcome, Group 1, our Ruby-Fuschite people. I always like to say that. So, our first group is the Ruby-Fuschite, and really it is a multi-layered crystal that incorporates both, of course, ruby and fuchsite. It offers courage and strength, and also relieves the weight that we carry within that is emotional. So it works with the heart and root chakra, and really it is one of the most versatile crystals that I know. So it's beautiful to work in with heart, but also in general with emotional energy. Let's have a look and see what we've got for the Ruby-Fuschite with the Mythic Oracle. This is a beautiful oracle deck. It offers a lot in terms of Greek goddesses and gods. So let's see what it has in store for us. So let's start picking. There we go. Oh, we've got Odysseus. That is a really strong start. And November for you, Ruby-Fuschite, is not only just a journey, but it is one that challenges you to keep up your emotional courage and strength. And really, combined with a Ruby-Fuschite here, which we will keep nice and close, it reminds you to not just have physical strength when it comes to facing obstacles, right? Because Odysseus had that. He had the physical strength. But it's also a reminder, where is your emotional strength? Are you upkeeping with your heart energy? And that is a question that everyone should ponder, especially coming into this month, and understanding that not all challenges are just physical surface level. They are also within you. What are you battling that's also within? That is quite lovely. Let's see what else is there. We've got the Moire and Destiny. So you are meant to face this challenge. Really, it's been something that you're being prepared for, and knowing that there is destiny and fate involved, it also invites you to take part in your own destiny. So look at it, you've got the 3 fates here, but they're also looking towards you. They're asking you, okay, we are involved with the fates, we're involved with things that get thrown into your life. But what are you going to play? What role are you going to take? Because they have their roles, but so do you. You are also an active part of this journey, of this challenge. And while they can present and throw things at you, like we said before, they have those little threads that they spin. What are you adding to this equation, and how do you respond to it? So it's always asking yourself, even though you're facing these, I would even say, hurdles, both in and out, what are you doing to contribute to the course of your destiny. So are you wanting to improve yourself? Are you shifting your mindsets? Are you even improving your physical body, if that is the case here? So what role are you playing in all of this? That is a really deep question to be starting with this month, Ruby and Fuschite. And Hestia, there's my patron goddess. So beautiful. And here's a bit of a question for you. In all this, when you're trying to find solace within yourself, you're trying to locate the wisdom for a good change, for moving forward, the answer is in Hestia. She offers you, she's bringing you, hey, have a look at this. Here is something for you. It is that sense of home, and not just the physical home, right? This is also the hearth. So in ancient Greece, usually the hearth was the center of the home because it's where people cooked and ate together. It's where they stayed warm, especially during cold seasons. So Hestia is asking, what is that base for you? What is that safe haven that you can create for yourself, that you can establish? Because usually when people find themselves in these tricky situations, they end up wondering, they end up looking for one thing or another. And that's great if you are searching for solutions. But what is your base? Is it perhaps a magical space or an altar? Is it a space that you create for yourself where you can look after yourself? Is it a base of contacts that you know are a click away? Perhaps it's even a pile of books that you feel absolutely comforting to read. So what is your home base? Where can you retreat to when things get a little too hard? You have the responsibility for yourself to create that. So ask yourself, where is that space? And what must I do to create it? So get in touch with your intuition, ask any spirit guides, or if you're working with gods and goddesses, ask them to guide you to find that place to create it. That's beautiful. Now we've got our partner tarot deck for this oracle. This is the Botticelli Tarot. It is beautiful. It may seem like a very traditional deck at first, and there's nothing wrong with that, but the gold details in this deck. You'll see. Let's shuffle. So it's interesting how really it's such a big picture that we see straight away in November for Ruby and Fuschite. It really dives deep. So it doesn't waste any time, no. All right, let's have a look. Let's pick. Let's see also if there's anything for love here as well. Oh, look at that. That's a Nine of Cups in reverse. Okay, let's see what's happening here. The lovers. May I just say, there's already a message that's coming out through this, but I'm going to wait till I pick the third card so I can at least say it all together, because I really felt what was coming through even just by the second card already. So, especially with this spread, have a good look. See, the Nine of Cups is usually the deck, I would say the card, that talks about enjoying and being in the moment and being content. And I feel I'm sensing here, Ruby and Fuschite, that you are looking forward to having that freedom, being out again, but that feeling is being kind of overshadowed by the anxiety of expectations, especially if you're somebody who, even if you're not in lockdown, you were not as active in socializing and going out. Now you have some sort of idea or idealization of what you feel will be like. So especially if you're wanting to meet people, ask yourself, am I letting my expectations already ruin the experience in advance? So going out and meeting people, because look, the lovers, there is a great connection to be made here in November. Whether you are already in a relationship or you're just looking and you're single, there's such a great bond that will really occur naturally here. So try not to project an exact image of, oh, if I go here, I'll speak to someone like this and then they'll respond to me in this way. It's way too exact and it saps the joy. Just enjoy the experience and that will make you magnetizing, right? It will draw that person to you. So remember, the more that you project and you try to push an image or an ideal, the more you will repel. Just think about that. And look at that, the Knave of Wands, such an energetic, so this is the Page of Wands, by the way. So it's such an energetic approach to the month. So remember that if there's anything to focus on, especially with love, now I really feel like it focused on love the moment we mentioned it. But if there's anything to focus about love in yourself, is work on your charisma. Yes, yes, yes. So work with your charisma, especially just being around yourself. So it doesn't have to be for necessarily dating for a person, but work your general charisma. How do you get along with your friends and family? What are some communication strategies that you can use to further yourself, right? Or just, I wouldn't even say new techniques, but healthier ways that you can look at your current communication skills and how to improve them, and how to have a little bit more charisma in general, because that will really help you be a bit of a magnet, so to say. So it will work in your favor. So just remember, this is about shifting more from the air, mind area of your body towards the fire, the passion, enjoying things in the moment and letting people see naturally that you are in a good space and that you are magnetizing, rather than I must think this, I want to plan it this way, and it must occur this way, because it ruins the energy. So definitely there's a couple of challenges for you this month, Ruby and Fuschite. Remember that there are challenges both in and both out, and you must question your role. And you must feel like you are a part of what is happening, and you are responding, you are contributing, and you are establishing a home base for you to get your strength. In love, remember to also not sap the joy from things. Not exactly be spontaneous, I would say, but work on your magnetism and your charisma for everything in general. So that is November for you, because there's some great connections to make here. Look at that, if that isn't blunt enough. So thank you, Ruby and Fuschite, and I hope you have a good November. Well, hello there, my red Jasper people. Look at that, such a strong color. Honestly, my Capricorn Aries combo enjoys deep, strong, I would say strong-willed crystals like red jasper. So red jasper itself is all about your grounding passion. It's about allowing yourself to be physically in the present while also enjoying the passionate energy that can flow through your veins and all throughout your body. It is your will being put into the physical world. So if you're wanting to get something done, this is the crystal for you. It is a beautiful base chakra crystal that allows you to stay connected to the earth. Isn't that wonderful? All right, and with our red jasper is the Horsepower Oracle. And yes, I am well aware that it is a double-sided deck, so we can see what is happening here. So, though you may not see it, I will be shuffling and reading this card without looking. So I am actually looking in a different direction so that we can make sure that each card can be pulled intuitively. So let's have a look. So I don't even know what's going on. I'm looking right into the corner of the wall. But I will look once I stop picking 1 and 2 and 3. And now I will actually look back. Voila. Aha. So I'm going to pick 3 at once because this deck, of course, is double-sided. And then I'll just rearrange it here beautifully. So here's the first question we have to ask ourselves, right? Red Jasper group, it is looking at where you are in life and not only wondering how you got there, but why are you in this situation, right? Looking at it. Is it because of a result of something good that you've done? So I'm not necessarily saying this is a negative thing that, oh, you're in trouble and this is why, etc., etc. No. This is asking what are the elements that have led to your current successes in your current situation. And maybe you could have succeeded more, or maybe it's already in a good place. It's up to you and your personal situation, but analyze. Because sometimes I understand that there's a great thing in being spontaneous. It is wonderful to just let the moment take you and be intuitive. But then also look, did that intuition or following a certain intuition or letting certain prohibitions go, I think I meant inhibitions, right? Letting inhibitions go led to this, right? So don't question what the universe is bringing to you right now, but while you are in the middle of this journey and you're working through this month, Red Jasper, question. See, question what you bring to the table, not what life and externally is bringing to you, but what have you done? What have you added that's brought you here, right? And even then, look at that. Have that outcome in mind if you're moving forward, because now you are being mindful. If you start looking at the patterns that led you here, the successes, your inner, maybe it was your inner resolve and the strength, you took some initiative, then it's time to do that again, to channel that. It's interesting, we've got the grumpiness card here. I have not even seen this card in a long time. It really is one of those rare ones. So looking at the grumpiness here, look at that. See how it works alongside your questioning. It's not about judging yourself necessarily, saying, oh, I'm bad because I'm in this situation or I did bad things. No, let's look at what good that you did that led you here. All right? Calm yourself and don't let yourself be taken by the aggression of the moment or the frustration. And that's why we have the red Jasper, right? Look at that. We can put that right next to that. It's beautiful. Because red Jasper is such a strong, I would even say that it's a very deterministic type of crystal that when its energy becomes too intense, there can be frustration that builds. So don't just look at everything that you did wrong leading you here. Look at everything that you did right. Don't dwell on that side. There'll be time to maybe dwell and analyze that later, but not right now. Let's have a look at imagination. See, look at that. Now that you're going to be in the precipice of creating and starting something new, this is why the universe is preparing you by asking you to look back, become a bit more knowledgeable about what you've done, not to be carried away in any current frustrations. It's because they want to prime your mind and your energy for creation, okay? The universe is wanting you to start something new, or you're just about to. You're turning on that corner. So they don't want you to be bogged down by unnecessary emotions. They want you to be looking and giving yourself credit where it's due and enacting again healthy habits, encouraging yourself to bring those good practices in again for your success, right? And in that imagination card, which is beautiful, look at that. He's really thinking about what he wants to be. It will keep your mind fertile for growth. Because then you have all the space, rather than being bogged down by this, you have the space to manifest and create what you have been wanting to do anyway. Beautiful. I love it. So, in this, we have our partner deck, which is the Impressionist Tarot. Such a classic deck. And really, the moment I saw that this deck had paintings, sold. Done. So let's have a look at the Impressionist Tarot and see what it is supporting for us. Red Jasper. Oh, there it is, the Queen of Wands. Powerful. The Seven of Swords. I really have something to say for that. But I need to be patient. I really need to be patient. My clairsentience comes in so strongly that sometimes, before I even finish picking the cards, I already have something to say. There's something I want to put forward. The intuition and the messages come in so strongly. So, the Queen of Wands and the Seven of Swords. Okay. Have you noticed that her positioning here is that she's confident, she's self-assured, but she's not externalizing herself. She's actually just displaying what she feels, but she doesn't feel the need to do something to someone else or to show off a specific thing to prove her will. She already knows. She is self-contained in her confidence. And this is where the sneaky Seven of Swords comes in. Usually when people see the Seven of Swords, they get a little bit, oh, what's this? It's lies, it's deception. And to some extent, it can be in certain circumstances. But this is a little bit of a cheeky move from the tarot here. Especially with, look at that Judgment card. Oh, so it's interesting because the Judgment really connects with grumpiness here, and it's trying to avoid falling into that negative mind space where you're just focusing around faults. Now, here is a little bit of a tip from the tarot directly. If you feel like you're falling into that, or you're starting to really give yourself a hard time for what you feel you haven't fulfilled or have lacked in, acknowledge that feeling, okay? Acknowledge it, but don't nurture it. And if somebody speaks to you or you are interacting with the outer world in some way, fake it till you make it. Truly, you don't have to dismiss that you don't feel these things. Of course you do. You're human. But if you present your energy in a certain way to the world mirrors that. The universe knows that. So even if you are struggling and you know that there's these things within yourself, right? Choose to present your best self. Choose to present your best energies. Even if you're well aware and you accept that there's other not so nice energies, that's fine. But put the best ones forward. Even if it means you're being a little bit sneaky about it, I suppose. And especially when it comes to dating, look at that. That confidence is going to be there. It applies in just the same way. I'm seeing this through different areas of your life: career, love, other personal relationships that you may have, right? Practice bringing your best. Even though there are things that are not as something that you're not as proud about, you know what? You'll deal with them in your own time, in your own way. You have all the time in the world to deal with them. But when you are facing the world and facing people that are, facing other people, well, not you, obviously, bring that best self forward. Understand what made you feel so confident in the first place. So the last time that you felt really confident, you felt really successful, what did you tune in? Remember that for this month, Red Jasper. What made you feel powerful and strong and really self-assured? Write it down if you think you'll forget it. Ask a person who was there and see what they think. But put that forward to this month. Analyze your past. Look for the great. Encourage that greatness. And also bring your best forward. Hopefully you enjoyed this month in November, Red Jasper. Hello there, my beautiful people who have picked Mookaite, or originally called the Mookaite Jasper. Now this is such a unique color. I love it. You don't really see a lot of crystals that are this rich, especially when it comes to a monotone color. I know there's a few lines and running through it, but still I really love the richness of the Mookaite, and you don't often see yellow blocked crystals. So the Mookaite itself is great for keeping yourself in the present, enjoying what is in front of you and grounding you so that you don't get mentally carried away to your different ideas or thoughts or even your fantasies. It lets you see the present for what it is and keeps you there. It helps you keep in touch with your physical body and to be aware of your senses and surroundings. It is beautiful for opening up your solar plexus chakra also. I really do have a thing for really grounding crystals. I think that's really, really obvious by now. So Mookaite, let's have a look. We've got the Gods and Titans. Now this is a little bit different to the Mythic Oracle that we had just before. So the Mythic Oracle has gods and goddesses, but the Gods and Titans very uniquely, oh look at this, you're starting to peek out. The Gods and Titans deck has only gods, male gods in it from the Greek pantheon, which is really unique because you have lots of goddesses oracles, but we don't often have just gods. So it's a very unique masculine flavor and I love it. I think it's not something that we see very often, no? All right, let's have a look. We've got a cat. Wow, dedication. Oh, that is so powerful. I love it. And look at this, we've got all, which is focus. I love how this is very contrasting here. It's a beautiful energy, and I'm getting a lot of really strong messages. So let's get started on this. And we've got wisdom. Oh, he doesn't come out very often either, even in cards and in real life when it comes to connecting with people. So let's have a look at these three. Wow. This is going to be an intense time of study and improvement for you in November, Mookaite, right? We'll mostly be working within and gaining new skills. So if you've been wanting to learn a specific skill or wanting to upskill yourself in a certain way, whether it's for work, for personal interest, this is the month to do it. And it's interesting because while this does give me a very hermit-like energy, have you noticed that? It's either you're watching from a distance, you're studying, you're working within yourself, or you're caving into yourself and strengthening yourself. It's very inward, this whole message. So In a way, looking at it, you will be watching the world from within while also working with yourself. So this is a time of incubation and hibernation. Look at this. So with that dedication, it's looking towards, this is a very physical message. So what is going on with your physical body right now? What is the number one thing in your health that you need to look after to feel at your strongest? And that is your number one responsibility. And second responsibility here is your mental clarity. What is distracting you a lot of the time? No wonder you picked Mookaite, which is being in the present. What will help you feel that focus? What are the main, let's say, what is 3 things right now that is the top priorities in your life? Can you answer that question? If you cannot answer that question, then perhaps we need to be doing some inner work and refocusing again. Because if you have those main goals in mind, every single thing that you do in life can be traced back to those really big goals. And if not, why are we doing them? So really it is that huddle in, let's think, let's recoup, let's have another look at what's happening and what everything is for before we go out back into the world. And that's where thought comes in as well, because you'll realize that even though you're fixing yourself physically, improving yourself physically, you're working on your mental clarity, perhaps there are still skills that you lack and you need to be doing some studying, whether this is an actual study of a skill that's for work, or perhaps you could just be doing some personal self-improvement, and there's that book sitting on your shelf about one topic or another, and you haven't really picked it up. This is your message to pick that up, because you're not going to be heading out in the world as much yet. You'll be working within and understanding it. If it's, for example, for dating, for love and romance, what do you feel is a number one thing you need to improve right now within yourself as someone who dates, as someone who is in a relationship or even single? What is that one thing that you feel can be worked on or needs the most work right now? So do and ask and assign something to that. Learn something. Just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean that you're done and that's it, finished. I know everything that I need for a relationship. No. This is a time to also look within yourself, especially if you're looking for new romances, as some of you have been telling me. Look within you. What is the number one? Is it like confidence? Is it conversation skills? Is it, in a way, the way that you look at relationships? Are you sure you even know what you want before you go out there? So what is that thing? Learn about that thing. What an interesting combination. And we've got, look at this, the OG, my original deck. As you would all know, it is definitely something that's been with me for a while. This is the Victorian Romantic Tarot. Oh, you. All right. Let's have a look. So this is your companion tarot. This is the Victorian Romantic. This deck is so old, but you can't really tell as much. No, it's interesting, isn't it? All right, let's have a look. Let's pick 3, 1, Justice. Oh, 8 of Swords. Okay. Interesting, that's in reverse, by the way. And the 4 of Swords in reversed. Okay. All right, very straightforward here. Just because that you're working within, Mookaite, just because you're working within and you're looking within yourself and doing the self-improvement doesn't mean that you're going to sit around and do nothing. This is intense, inward directed work. And don't you worry, I noticed this 8 of Swords right there in the middle. It is a bit of a comment about how you are feeling some anxieties that you really will not improve. Perhaps the last time you tried to make some self-improvements and withdrew from the world, had a bit of hermit time and started working on those improvements, you didn't get as much results as you wanted. So now you're afraid of being trapped into the inward situation, so to say. But don't you worry, this time, especially with Justice on your side, you really need to weigh in. I see weighing in. You really need to weigh in what is happening in your life at the moment. Look at it. Look at it, Mookaite, especially in the last few months. Without as much focus and inward direction as well as improvement, you actually haven't been achieving as much. So if you think you're not going to achieve as much by going within and recouping and replanning everything, rearranging your priorities, think again. Because it is time. You could be bringing out more to the world, feeling more confident about yourself, and feeling like you're actually reaching your goals if you put the time investment now to go within. So don't be afraid. Don't let a past negative experience, sway you. Maybe there was something else happening at the time. There were so many factors. But I assure you now, this is a time to look within. And when you reassess those priorities, you reassess those desires, especially physically in your body as well, you'll find that when you come back out into the world, I'm saying this as we're leaving lockdown in Victoria. Don't worry, you're allowed to go out if you like. But just remember, I don't mean that you stay at home, obviously. No, like this and just sleeping. Unless you're really needing it. But putting aside time for this inner work. That is what's really, really important. Because when you go out there especially, I'm not seeing necessarily something that is romance-wise that is really, really close, but more of, I really feel like if you pick this, Mookaite, I'm sensing with you that even your love life needs focus. So even you can go out there and date right now. You can go and meet people. You can start a romance. But what do you want? What do you bring? Can you answer those questions for me? All right, have a think about that, because I feel that, there's the idea of romance, being out there and just doing it. But then what are you bringing? What is actually happening if you do? There's so much you can leave to fate in the universe, but you also must be self-aware of where you are in this dynamic. Every time you date, every time, there is a summer romance, you are an active part. So what is your active part? What do you do? What do you bring? And what do you prioritize in someone else? So that also helps if you're really wanting to be focused and get more from your love life. Especially even at work too. I noticed that this is a pattern that's reoccurring everywhere. So what is your inner compass? That is the main question for this month for you. What is your physical plan? What is your compass in your mental clarity? And what are the skills you need to learn this month? All right, so let's have a think about that, Mookaite, and you enjoy November. Well, how are you doing, my beautiful clear quartz people? What an intuitive choice you've made. The clear quartz is definitely one of the most powerful crystals that there is. It is a healer, and it helps you to focus your mental energies. It clears away the distractions. Whether it's a physical one or different mental distractions, things that take away your energy. It forces you to hone in to what you really want to prioritize. And it's beautiful. It's a clear, it's a healer. And really, it even helps you with your third eye and crown chakras. So especially with the third eye there, and with the crown, if you're wanting to receive more information, if you're wanting to get more intuition from yourself, this is perfect. Look at that. And we have a very cute little oracle deck here. And I'm not sure if you would have seen it. I think this is an independent deck. So this little, I think it was a blue mermaid deck. Let's have a look and see what it has. It's got some beautiful words at the other side. So somebody with small hands, this is absolutely a delight to shuffle. So let's see what's happening here. Oh, look, it's got all these different patterns. I almost forgot about that. Beautiful. So let's have a look. All right. I'm going to lay them out like this. Oh, integrity. Beautiful. Boldness. Wow. Creativity. Oh, we've got creativity and imagination coming back in again. And let's place our focus crystal right there. Beautiful. So what is this beautiful oracle telling us right now? This is the main focus for your November crystal quartz. Clear quartz, goodness me. Clear quartz. Looking at it, it is the way that you hold yourself and how you stay to your values. Now, I believe just a few months back, you really have done a reevaluation when it comes to your personal beliefs. And now this is the time to check in and see, are you keeping to those values? Are you working to your beliefs, or to some extent, do you just mentally know them and may have let them fall into the wayside a little bit? Is it the pressure from work, pressure from around you socially? Really, the cards, the deck, is urging you to re-examine those situations. Look at your everyday situations. How do you interact with your friends? How do you interact with your family? And how do you interact with your love interests? Are you showing that integrity? Are you letting that... I love how bold this deck is, even though it's a very soft blue. Because of the contrast that it uses, it literally stands out so much that it is a soft but a strong message, if that makes sense. So it is asking you, is everything that you're saying and doing, especially when you're interacting with everyone around you, reflecting your values? Okay? Or perhaps your values need to be re-examined now, and you need to be able to align your energies and your actions with those new values, especially with the creativity here. Is there more ways than one that you can show what you value? So for example, if you love giving back to your community and you really feel fulfilled by giving, is there a different way you can enact that this month in November? So if you're used to giving to people close to you, doing things for your friends, is there something you can do perhaps for charity this month? So what are the different ways you can enact your values? Because there's always more than one. And if your main value is family, who in your extended branch have you not had much time with? Who can you reach out to that you normally don't? So really challenge yourself to be a little different with how you look at your values and how you bring them about to the world. There isn't just that single way. Really put that onus to yourself. That is a really wonderful message here. And that when you work to your values, when you act with the right intentions and the intuition, your overall energy, do you know your overall energy becomes strong. So when people meet you, it's not that you're going to overwhelm them. No, goodness, don't worry about that. But you will present a united front. And when people pick up their energy, they really get a feel for what you are and what you're like, especially when you're dating, without having to say much. Because I think people focus so much on just talking, and that's important. Having good social and communication skills are really important. But remember that people are not just picking up what you say verbally. People pick up your energy too, especially if you're meeting someone who may be sensitive. And you're not even sure, right? Especially if you're meeting someone new. But they know, they pick up the verbal, but they pick up the energy. So what is coming out of your energy? And if you're consistent and you work and act with that integrity to your values, people can sense that without you having to explain much. So it's a beautiful advantage to have at your side. Now, with this beautiful deck, I thought we'd contrast it a little bit. We've got the Angel Tarot. Oh, look at this. It's thick. It's a really big deck and beautifully gilded, but it is very big. And you'll see how adorable this deck is. I thought so because I think this is a feast for the eyes. So let's do it for this deck as well. It's partner deck. So let's have a look. This one is a, what do you call it? It is a one position deck. So it only has, it does have reverses, but the covers don't reflect that. So let's see what is happening here. Oh, lovers again. Maybe you guys really had the right idea asking about summer romance and dating this November, because it's popping up more than once. What are the chances? We've got the 5 of Coins. I do have something to say about this. And then the 9 of Coins. Oh, that is beautiful. Look how beautiful these cards are, honestly. Oh, I have to just take them in for a second. So, look at this. All of this, especially look at these 2 cards, there is a point of connection. Have a look. There's a point of connection. So there is an overall message here, my beautiful clear quartz, for November. Is that, do you feel connected to your values? Because it's not just a value that you write down and, you look at it and that's the rules, that's the law. It is a part of you. It has energy. It is a being. It's almost like a thing. So do you feel connected to it? Especially with the lovers there. Are you connected to what your heart believes? Because I'm telling you now, you're going to have less energy and strength to do what you do normally every day if it's not connected to your heart. And really look at that. There's such a great potential here for romance for November for you, clear quartz. It's beautiful, but only if you listen to your heart and if you allow it to lead you to the right connection. So if you're connected to yourself and your values within, you will find it easier to connect with others. That is the facts here, right here. And so interesting, we've got the 5 of coins, because remember I mentioned charity? This is it. How do you feel connected to yourself and different people? So first there's that inner connection to values. But then there's connection to the external world with people that you know, and perhaps maybe helping and connecting with those you don't know as well, those who need help. So again, know when to accept help, because that builds connection, and know when to help, because that also establishes connection too. So really, at this time, understand that by giving and receiving, you are building connections. And if you are so used to that, you're comfortable with that with the people around you, and even strangers if you do charity, imagine how much easier it would be for you to receive in a relationship, to receive and give when you're dating. Think about that. And that's what it leads to. This is like the result, the 9 of Pentacles. That hard work of working your connections, connecting with your inner self and your integrity to your values, connecting with everyone else, it will pay off. It will reward you so handsomely. You'll feel content and happy, and your efforts will really bring fruit. But first, you really must extend yourself in making those connections and exploring how you can make these connections. That is, I've said that word so many times, that is the word of the month for you, clear quartz. That's why you've picked the clear quartz. You want to take away the distractions, little things you do just because, and make sure that everything you do is connected for that reason, so that all your energy is going towards the right place, right? Making you feel like you belong in certain circles, and to yourself, that you belong to yourself. Because when you do, you'll find it easier to belong to someone too, and them belonging to you. This is such a beautiful, wholesome message. I really love it. So just remember that for this month, and I hope you enjoy your November. See you around, clear quartzes. Oh, I almost forgot. Just remember, because of all the pentacles here, there will be some physical action involved. So don't just think about inner work and integrity in a mental way or intuitive way. Think about the physical things you can do also. Well, hello, blue-laced agate beauties. That sounds great. That is a great phrase. So today we've got the beautiful blue-laced agate, and look at it. You can actually see the very light lace through it. This is a powerful communication crystal. It is best for when you want to put your ideas into the real world through your air energy. So it's best to channel in with your throat chakra, especially when you're wanting to manifest your ideas and your thoughts towards the world and towards other people. Anyone who might listen. Is a beautifully gentle but powerful crystal. I love it. I really like the blue lace agate. I remember I even have a complete set of jewelry with this, and it really helps when you're a reader too. So we've got our blue lace agate here, and we've got the Kuan Yin Oracle. I'm well aware this is a double-sided deck, very much like the horsepower one, so I will be staring longingly into the distance while I'm shuffling to make sure that intuition and the universe can do its work. So I have no idea what even is going on right now, but I will pick 3 and see what comes out. You do though. You have an idea what's happening. So let's have a look. Oh, look at that. I can feel it. This is kind of powerful here. Wow, look at that. I really love how vivid the colors are in this deck. It's beautiful to look at, and some of it is actually landscape as well. So we might even shift that a little bit here. Beautiful. Do you notice that visually straight away? There is a connection between these two. So looking at it, we've got, there's that point of connection as well. There's that point of touch. And it's interesting because when you look at these cards and you see that there's a message on the back, it really does allow you to first look at it intuitively and see what you come out with, and then you can get the supporting message from the universe. So You see how there is an element of partnership here, but one relies more onto the other. And this is what you need to listen to for November, my blue laced agates. This is a time to understand when you cannot do things by yourself, to allow yourself to be guided, cooperating. So while before with our beautiful clear quartz, we had connection, this we have cooperation. That is the theme for this month for you in November. Are you doing something all by yourself? Because in a way, our society really encourages that. It makes us just want to do everything by ourselves. It's self-made, self-this, which is kind of self-centered when you think about it. Is there something that you're trying to do all by yourself right now? Perhaps it's putting all the pressure on yourself if you're going out and trying to find love and dating. Perhaps it's at work and where you're going. Perhaps it's other personal relationships that you feel you don't have much direction on, but you just keep pushing yourself. Just remember this. You really need to hear this. The universe is there for you. It always has been, and it always will. And sometimes in the world that really encourages us to be self-focused, you forget that there's a lot more than just yourself, especially when it comes to help and assistance. The universe is just waiting for you to ask. Ask and you shall receive, right? Interestingly enough, I grew up very religious, so in a way, I've always learned that lesson. You have to ask to receive sometimes. And people forget because they become overly self-reliant. So what is something that you're trying to do in this month? See, look at that. This good fortune granted. You will be blessed. Look, I just wanted you to see. As the seasons go, there will be a reward for your hard work. But you know what else is hard work? You know what else is real wisdom? Aside from just putting in that physical and energy-based effort, having initiative to ask for help. That is something that is worth rewarding too. It's not that you're asking and then you'll be indebted to somebody or the universe. No. You are showing that you have humility and you have vision by asking for help. And look at this as well. I want you to have a look. Dream mode. Oh, there really is an overarching message about not only having creativity and imagination, but this is a time for manifesting, and not too surprising since we are in the helm of spring. So know that things will come through, right? The snow is melting. We don't have snow here, by the way, figuratively. That this stagnancy will eventually melt away and you will have the chance and the power and the opportunity to make things happen. But if you know when to let go to some extent and ask for help, ask to be guided, while also having that inner confidence. So those two go hand in hand, okay? Ask yourself, do I have the first part? Do I know when to ask for help? And can I be humble in asking for help? And two, can I build up inner confidence and that intuitive, I would even say the intuitive assurance within myself that my intentions are right and that things will work well for me? Can I marry those two? Because those two are the formula for success for this month. Whether it's in work, whether it's in your love life, and whether it's any different area that you have happening, you have to have these two concepts, these two practices come together. And so we have our partner deck, and I don't think many people have seen this deck yet here. We have the Housewives Tarot. It's a beautifully retro deck. When I saw this, especially the beautiful box it came in, I had to have it. No questions asked. It is my retro aesthetic all the way, as some of you may have noticed. My witch personality is definitely Samantha Stevens from Bewitched. Just letting you know. So let's see what is happening here. Beautiful. Ooh, let's shuffle that a little bit more. I felt like there was a need there. Beautiful. Let's see what's happening. We've got, I chose these two decks together because they're so colorful. Got the Six of Wands in reverse. Page of Pentacles. That's so cheeky. Okay, and then we have the Ten of Wands in reversed. I see now why you're getting this message. Blue Lace Agate, I see now. Right? And it really connects to the crystal that you picked. You know why? These last month or two, you really have been putting in the effort. You've been pushing it so hard by yourself. And guess what? You're tired. And now you've fallen into that trap. You think, well, you know what? Nothing I do is worth doing because it's such a waste of time because of this and that. I blame this and everything else is external in the world. I blame it. let's stop the blame. Okay, let's stop the blame. It's not necessarily only just because of the outside world or everything external, and it's not because you're a failure, because I think you're trying to blame this to yourself too. No, it's not because of that. It hasn't worked as smoothly as you prefer, and now you're tired because you're not asking for help. You're putting everything just on your shoulders. And guess what, at the end of the day, you're just one person. You're just one person and so many in this world. But guess what? The universe has enough energy and guidance for everyone and more. So think about this with the Page of Pentacles. This is the crux here. This is just acknowledging the situation you're in, like how spread out you are, and you're so tired. You're tired and you're becoming kind of pessimistic. I see that here. So this is why it really connects here. It's about delegating and surrendering to some extent to the universe's help and will. All right? But look at that Page of Pentacles. It almost feels like everything I do will just fall and spill and break and be useless anyway. Let's stop that line of thinking there. Let's reverse this card. And I mean reverse as in the motion. Okay, let's put the plates back onto the shelf and let's look at it carefully. Now, grab a pen and paper, whatever you may need, Blue Lace Agate. What are 2 things that you can do today that you can surrender to the universe? Perhaps it's something that you're wanting to do with your work. Perhaps it's something to do with yourself and your love life. Write that down and surrender it. Promise to yourself that at least today, and if you can beyond today, that would be beautiful. At least today, you will not worry or try to act upon that worry. You will leave that to the universe. Okay, it's almost like put it on a piece of paper, fold it up, send it like a letter. That's the universe's problem. That's on their desk. Think about it like a company. It's not on your desk. It's not your job right now. And if you can keep that up, you'll see magnificent changes. Okay, it will support you. And that's why the Blue Lace Agate is there. It's you training your communicative skills. How can I communicate to the universe that I need help? How can I even get outside of myself and my pride and perhaps a bit of ego to go and ask for help, right? To stop pushing just myself and to offload. So that is the challenge for you this week, okay? Have a think about it for November, especially with your dating life as well. What is something you can surrender in your dating life to the universe? Let it work its magic on it, even just for a few days. See what happens. So I hope that's been a wonderfully resonant message with you, Blue Lace Agate, for this month. And I will see you, hopefully, in the next. And there we have it for the month of November. I hope that these messages have resonated with you in some way or another. We've had messages about being more proactive in your personal life, in your challenges, both inside and in the external way. We've had messages around questioning your good habits and successes so that you can make a repeat. We've had beautiful messages about taking care of yourself in different levels to prepare yourself for coming out into the world again. We've had beautiful messages about staying close and true to your values and also knowing when to ask for help. I hope that has brought you all the guidance that you would need for November. If you have any other questions or queries about it, things you want to explore in your personal life, in your context, well, let me know and I'd love to hear from you. And for now, hope you all enjoy beautiful November heading your way. You are insightful, you are beautiful, and you deserve guidance. See you around.